Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to the Doolittle Community Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, site of game number 2 on day number 2 of the Global Basketball Summer League. I'm Nick Anastas, along with Nick Mattis. Kelsey Wright-Johnson working the sidelines. We'll check in with her in just a moment. Two teams about to do battle, that won in their opening round days yesterday, and a chance to the Session A championship game on the line as these two teams battle it out. What'll be the key today? Well, let's find out from Kelsey Wright-Johnson, who's on the sidelines. Kelsey.
This is a battle today of the winning teams from yesterday. Both Scouting4U and the Desert Storm came out on top of yesterday's matchups. Now, of course, most memorable, the 1-point win of the Desert Storm after Jamal Peterson's last-second shot. He ended the game with 23 points, and he says today he's bringing that same energy and offensive prowess. On the other end for Scouting4U, it was Lavelle Cook who ended yesterday's game with 28 points. It's clearly going to be a major battle today of defenses. Neither team really has a problem putting the ball in the hoop on the other end. Guys?
Nick, you heard it there. Both teams prolific. They can score the basketball. The difference may be on the defensive end today.
I think that's absolutely going to be the difference. Both these teams have very good offensive, and we talked about it earlier in their tournament. Defensive tenacity is going to separate you from other players. This is a showcase tournament here. All the players have not practiced together before. Maybe one or two times they've been together. So you get out here and you're going to have to showcase your skills. Starts with fundamentals, and then from there, it's all about distinguishing yourself on defense. Work hard on defense. That's one thing every player can do. If you get the opportunity to get an open look, make your baskets. I like to talk about 50, 40, 80 a lot. 50% of your field goals, if you can do that, that's excellent. 40% on three-pointers, that's excellent. And then get to the free throw line and make 80% of your free throws. If you're doing that, you're doing things that NBA scouts are going to notice.
Right.
Add a couple of assists on it, some rebounds, now you're the total package.
Well, let's look more in depth at these two teams here. Scouting4U coming off a tight victory, 90-85 yesterday. The high man of the day of the entire tournament so far was Lavelle Cook of the Dominican Republic, who dropped 28 points, shot it better than 50%, one of your keys from the floor, 11 of 28, and really was the go-to guy down the stretch to get the victory yesterday.
Yeah, and both these teams had battles to get here. They did not get here easily. It took a last-second shot a shot with 3 seconds left for the Desert Storm to get by the Greek Connect in game number 1. And again, this game here, Scouting4U, they had a tough battle with the French Pro-Am team that we saw just defeated the Greek Connect team there in game number 1 today of the tournament.
Yep.
So both teams had to battle to get here, and this is important. You win this game, you're moving on to the championship game of this tournament, Nick, which will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
For the Desert Storm, made up mostly of guys from the Las Vegas area, with a few exceptions. One of those was the point guard who came off the bench, Jamal Peterson. 23 points, a team high, 6 3-pointers, and he was huge in the second half. Peterson hailing from the University of Arkansas, Monticello. And then one of the flashier nicknames of the tournament, Dominic the Dominator Schuler, is a inside presence for them as well.
Well, he's an athletic player, elevation sensation. The guy can jump. He's somebody definitely we caught our eye during the game. And, and we gave him the nickname of the Dominator because he definitely dominated quarters number 2 and 3 in the game yesterday. They also got the shot that was made at the end of the game yesterday for them to get the victory was made by Victor Bermudez, and it was a well-designed play set up by Coach Ty McIntyre of the Nevada Desert Storm. They were trailing by 1 point with 8 seconds left, inbounded the ball with 3 seconds left. Bermudez got the shot up, a 15-footer off of the right elbow of the free throw line, dropped it through. The Greek Connect had no answer for their last shot, and they pulled out the 1-point victory, 86-85. And advanced them into this game number 2 here, the winner's bracket.
All right, let's take a look now at the two teams as they head out onto the floor. The Scouting4U team will be the home team officially here. They're in their white jerseys, while the maroon team is made up of the Nevada Desert squad. So the Desert will head left to right in this first quarter. while Scouting for You will head right to left. The officials are Charles Passy, Felipe Venezuela, and Shell Zhang. 3 different nations represented by the 3 different officials. The tip is won by Scouting for You, and here is Lavelle Cook, a dynamic, explosive scorer. Lobs a pass inside. It's tipped away and stolen. Mike Jesseran now trying to push tempo, and he finds DeMario Butler for an easy right-hand lay-in. So a turnover leads to a transition bucket, and this game is expected to be high-paced, and it starts that way. Schuler now with the steal. Schuler to the rim, little right-hand finger roll in and out. Got robbed on the layup there. The rebound goes to Cook.
Tough roll for the Dominator there. Got right to the basket, laid it up on the rim, and rolled out. Bad start here for the Scouting for You. They've had 2 turnovers on their first 2 possessions.
Chuck Smith with a miss, but follows his own rebound off the front iron. Gets it over to Andravius Smith, who goes up and under with the right hand. No. And now a whistle and a jump ball is called in the lane.
Anton Waters there for Scouting for You had the rebound. Big guy there, Anton Waters, 6'7", 245 out of Western Kentucky.
And Kenny Morgan was the guy to tie him up, so it'll be Morgan to jump it up against Waters. Waters at 6'7" has the height advantage, and he wins the tip easily. 2-0, minute gone by here. Scouting for You trying to get onto the board for the first time. Here's the big man Waters, baseline near side, a couple power dribbles, and then a power finish at the rim.
Well,
there's Waters, too big there down low, Nick.
The 245 pounds, that's going to be the difference. The Dominator, he can jump. He's an athletic sensation. Dominator with the 3-pointer.
Schuler off target there on the back iron. Rebound wrestled away by Chuck Smith. Smith finds Waters left side, blocked from behind. It's Schuler who got a right hand on it. Now Schuler with the outlet. As Josseran, who settles for 3, in and out, no good from the near corner, and Cook has his second rebound for Scouting for You. Minute and a half gone by, 2-2.
Interesting, Nick, there. The Dominator blocked the shot of Waters. We talked about that mismatch. It's mostly in weight. It's not going to be in jumping ability. Nice shot there.
Andravius Smith, a little up and under head fake move, has the right hand finish, and the second field goal for Scouting for You. 2 minutes are gone now. Meanwhile, a move there by Morgan brings him into the lane, but that shot blocked there by the help side defense.
Yeah, good job there by number 4, Kenny Morgan, with the block.
It'll come back out to Josseran, who will restart the offense. Far side, Butler. That's a long 2. Guarded by Cook. No. Offensive rebound, Schuler. New shot clock. Well, they're going to dare Morgan to shoot it. He will. No. Butler a third try. Yes. Up and under for Butler. He's got a scowl on his face. He's all business here after tying the game at 4.
Important game for both teams here. Whoever wins this obviously advances into the championship games. 8-team tournament here. Yesterday, the first day here. Got 2 more games after today here, Nick. It's going to be interesting.
Yep, again, the winner of this game plays tomorrow for the championship, the Session A championship game, which we'll have for you, of course, here on the network.
Big mistake there by Andravius Smith there. Brought the ball down low. When you brought it down low, he was able to get it stolen away. Keep the ball up. Passes it out there in the front. Smith
trying to go behind the back, but Josseran all over him and leads to a steal. 3-on-2 now. Bermudez finds Butler, and there's the layup.
Right now, early in the game, turnovers are the difference, okay? Scouting for You has not possessed the ball very well. Too many turnovers.
Meanwhile, here's Cook's first shot of the ball game. It's off target. Schuler is there for the rebound. Again, Cook, the guy to watch, 28 points yesterday. Takes him nearly 3 minutes, though, to get his first attempt today. 6-4 as the Desert looks to build on the lead. Schuler, a little fade away from 10 feet, in and out, no good. Rebound to Andravius Smith. Finds Chuck Smith on the far side. One more pass here to Ishmael Kalau, and that shot is short. Schuler already with 3 rebounds as he grabs that one for Desert Storm. Still 6-4. Josseran, a right-hand dribble, leaves it back for Butler just inside the free throw line. Leans into the shot. That one's short. He wanted a foul. Won't get it. Instead, the other way comes Smith. Smith racing into the front court. Has Cook. Wide open look. 3 is on the way. No. Line drive effort missed. Too strong. Tipped out to Josseran the other way. Up ahead, Butler. Butler with the lay-in and the foul. Able to kind of wrap that right arm around the defender Waters to draw the contact and a chance for a three-point play. Butler off to a great start, his second field goal. Largest lead either way on the board at 8-4, nearly 4 minutes in.
Yeah, beautiful pass by Mike Josh around there. Led perfectly up the court there. Butler's playing like a man possessed right now. He's really looking really determined. He wants to get out here and establish his energy and his presence on the court. Going to go to the bench here. Ty McIntyre's going to give him an early break. He's really putting out a lot of effort. Off to an early lead here.
Yeah, Butler, a well-deserved break. 5 early points already to pace the club, and he's got his team out in front by 5, 9-4. Coming up on 4 minutes to go, or 4 minutes gone by, I should say, in this opening quarter. All right, right to left. Here's Cook. Slow start, going to lob it here to Waters. He's bodied up by Schuler. One-on-one, one dribble, and there's Schuler, the leaper, who gets his second rejection. Schuler the other way, going to slow it down as he comes left to right. Jossaran now a spin move on the baseline, tiptoes, feeds it for Butler, who misses the jam. Schuler is there, though. Schuler bumped a little bit on the fadeaway, no. Now body's on the ground. Smith has it the other way. Right to left, Smith. A little underhand pass tipped away out of bounds by Bermudez. And with that, everybody gets to catch a breath, including us here on the sidelines. Let's throw it now to the baseline, where Kelsey Wright-Johnson is standing by, as I believe we have a timeout on the floor. Yes, we do. Check in with Kelsey in just a moment. It is 9-4 in favor of the Nevada Desert Storm as they look to punch their ticket to the Session A championship. Let's check in now with Kelsey.
Thanks, guys. When it comes to Lavelle Cook, Coach Ty McIntyre says his team is going to force him to do things he doesn't like to do. That includes shooting from the perimeter and maybe not driving with his right hand. He says, we got to make sure that he's doing what he doesn't want to do, and that makes us do what we want to do. On the other end with Jamal Peterson, Scouting4U has their eyes on him. He said, although he ended with 23 points yesterday, Coach Ricky said he got way too many open shots. It was open. No one was putting a hand in his face yesterday, so that's the team's plan going into this one. And now you can see Lavelle Cook started the game on the other end, though. Jamal Peterson hasn't entered the game yet, so we'll have to take an eye on that and make sure we see when he comes in and what impact he makes for his team. Guys?
Thank you, Kelsey. Yeah, Lavelle Cook, 11 of 18 yesterday, 28 points, was aggressive on the offensive end, and Nick, they are going to have to get him involved if Coach Ricky George and the Scouting4U squad wants to get back in this game here early on.
He was the highest scorer in the tournament out of the 4 games yesterday. So
and here he is, a spin move to the lane, left hand, gets a friendly roll.
Right on cue. Nice call, Nick Anastas.
Yep, right out of the timeout. Coach George wasting no time getting his star the basketball. 1 possession game now. Here's Bermudez. 3-pointer off target, but it's Jossaran a second try. Able to restart the shot clock with an offensive rebound, and now Bermudez will back it out with the right hand. Wants to go one-on-one against the bigger defender, gets into the lane, hangs, pump, shot there, no good, and the rebound will be wrestled away by Tosin Mahinti, who had just checked in. Now it's Smith off balance, draws a whistle, and we'll head to the free throw line. Well, midway through this first quarter, it's 9-6.
Coach Ricky George has stirred the pot a little bit here. He's gone to his bench, got some new players in the game. Wasn't real happy with the production he was getting out of his starting unit. He's got some new players in there, and I like to call that stirring the pot a little bit. Let's get some new ingredients in there, see if we can't get the game turned around. They're not playing very badly, but they're only trailing by 2 points. So,
yeah,
these teams are going to battle all the way to the end there.
Here's Chuck Smith out of Howard University in the MEAC. Able to knock that down, complete the 2-of-2 trip at the line, and suddenly a 1-point game in the last 4. Points have been scored by Scouting4U. All right, here's Jossaran. He's got a great handle. He's going to lob it back door. The catch and the finish is too strong off the window. It will, however, stay with Desert Storm as it's tipped out of bounds by Mahinti. Fresh 24 up on the shot clock as well. Here's Travoy Edwards out of Bolivia. Played at LaSalle as well. A little fadeaway there from the far wing is no good. And now on the run comes Andrevius Smith. Got into trouble, lost the ball. Schuler another steal. Jossaran going to float it across the paint. And now one dribble is sent back there. Edwards had it rejected, and now a foul is called on the near sideline. It's going to go against Desert Storm. Against Schuler, that's his first. And it looks like the third team foul so far in this first quarter. Subs coming, and we'll get our first look today at Jamal Peterson. Was Desert Storm's leading scorer yesterday, 23 points on 6 made three-pointers. He's in to run the show and going to pick up Smith here on the defensive side.
He had a wonderful third period in last game.
There's Andrevius Smith showing the post move. 6'5" forward out of Tougaloo College gets his first bucket. And he's got the squad out in front. Scouting4U, it's 6 straight. They lead 10-9. Now a 3 on the other side. Bermudez. No, Schuler, a tip dunk with the right hand.
The Dominator with the hammer slam.
There's that athleticism. We're seeing it on both ends. Schuler with a tip dunk, seemingly got it on the way down as well. A much-needed bucket there for Desert Storm. They reclaim a 1-point lead, 11-10. We're inside of 4 minutes first quarter. Now Cook wants the answer, slices the defenders, and is blocked by Schuler. Maintained, though, by Mahinty, and then he had it poked loose and stolen. Peterson now looking to push. Has Bermudez got the step to the rim? No, but a foul.
That was all about Dominic Schuler, the Dominator, right there. Gets the hammer slam, comes down on defense, gets the block, strips the player on the rebound, steals it.
Well, we're seeing how dynamic he is. Here's a guy who didn't play college ball at all. From what we understand, he's from the Las Vegas area, was a last-second addition to this roster, and, well, we saw what he did yesterday, and so far he's picked up where he's left off.
Well, I think there's a few players in the NBA right now we know that never played college basketball,
sure.
And I think maybe we call one of the guys the King. Is that right?
That is right.
Isn't that LeBron James? Okay?
Sure.
And there's been several others, and I'll tell you this. This man has distinguished himself. Am I right? I mean, we've already given him the nickname the Dominator. We've had a scout or two come over and ask us about him. This guy's fun to watch, okay?
Meanwhile, it's Bermudez, who gets 1 of 2 there. He was the hero yesterday, hit the game winner for Desert Storm with about 3 seconds to go. Puts his squad up 2, 12-10 as we head towards the 3-minute mark in this first quarter. Inside Mahinty from the far block, nice up fake, went around Schuler, but blew the bunny. Tipped out now to Jossaran. Opportunity wasted there. Meanwhile, Bermudez looks to make him pay. 3-pointer, though, is flat. And with that, a foul here on the near baseline. A grab is going to go against Travoy Edwards, who was boxed out pretty well there by Mahinty.
I find it interesting, Nick, so far that they have not substituted out the Dominic Schuler. The Dominator has not come out of the game. It looks like he'd like to get a breather. He's over there talking to Coach Ty McIntyre.
Meanwhile, Cook being shadowed by Bermudez on this side of the floor. Not had a lot of touches in this first quarter. Schuler going to strip it from Mahinty. Ahead to Peterson. Peterson left-hand finishes there.
Pretty finish right there. He knew the defender was on his back, was able to switch hands and laid it in off the glass with his left hand.
4-point ball game. Jossaran, meanwhile, in the passing lane, slaps it out of bounds. Nearly had a steal there.
Mike had really felt that pass coming and just was a 1/10 of a second late on making the steal there. And that's the difference in the game right now. The team here, the Scouting4U, is a little sloppy with the basketball. They have I'm going to say they have 4 or 5 turnovers. If they could clean up their turnovers, when they get down here, they're doing a pretty good job of running their offense and getting good looks on their shots, but they're not strong with the basketball right now. So this is a perfect timeout. Coach Ricky George is over there, and I'm sure he's talking to him. We need to be strong with the basketball.
Meanwhile, Coach McIntyre, you see there, a little laid back with his guys in the huddle. Certainly pleased with what he's seen over the last few minutes as they've scored, I think, 5 unanswered. And there, of course, our international trio of officials. And good time, I suppose, to talk about how the Global Basketball Summer League over the last 10 years has really first and foremost, or I guess the origins of it, started with the officials and how it was a training ground for up-and-coming referees trying to make their way up, just like the players, just like the broadcasters, trying to take that next step on the career ladder. And these guys are working the NBA Summer League, from what we understand, down the street at the Mac Center, as well as getting some reps in here. So a learning opportunity, a showcase for everybody, not just the players, but the officials as well.
Yeah, we've got 2 officials here. One's from Chile, and the other official is from China. So we've got a real international group of officials in this game today.
I agree, and that's Chris Passy, the lone American, along with Felipe Venezuela and Shell Zhang. Here is Cook. Only 2 points so far today after a 28-point tournament high performance in the victory yesterday. Cook puts his head down, gets in the lane, hit a little bit there, but no whistle. Now a late one does come as the ball flies out of bounds on the baseline. A lot of contact there, but Cook not going to head to the free throw line, I don't believe. No, now they are going to call a foul, I believe.
Yes.
Or are they talking about the shot clock here?
Shot clock
is going to restart, I think.
Okay.
They're going to take it out of bounds. Looking for Waters on the bounce pass. And a grab is going to be called against the defense. Foul there on Travoy Edwards.
Well, Lavelle Cook scored.
That's his third already.
Yeah, Lavelle Cook scored 28 points yesterday. I'm sure the Desert Storm coach, Ty McTire, has told his players that we cannot let this guy go up. We're going to concentrate on him and make him really earn his points today.
And the assignment has been drawn by Bermudez, who's done a good job. This time Cook going to go right at Bermudez and draw the foul on his way up.
And that may be the way to get Cook off, is to get him to the free throw line. Let him get his shot going there. I always believe that going to the free throw line, if you're a good free throw shooter, that's going to be a way for you to get relaxed, start scoring some points, and get in your groove.
First one up and good for Cook. Brings his point total up to 3, and it brings the deficit down to 3 as well.
A relatively low-scoring first quarter here. Most of the quarters we've had have been around 20 points.
This one in and out, no good. Rebound to Peterson, and a chance for a 2-possession lead now for the Desert Storm squad. Bermudez back to Peterson up top. Calls off the pick and roll. Instead fires a 3 and knocks it down. He hit 6 of those yesterday, Nick. His first in this game.
Just where he ended yesterday, he starts today. First shot is good, a 3-point attempt.
That doubles the margin as well. 17-11. Quick 3 on the way. No good. Short from the far wing by Martin Anderson. Defensive rebound leads to another Peterson layup. Little underhand scoop shot there with the left, and it's the largest lead for Desert Storm at 19-11.
Peterson was watching the defender the whole way. Once the defender backpedaled, it opened up the door for him to take it in.
Scouting for you. Scouting for an answer right now. Instead, it's a turnover. Jossaran steals it in the lane. Splits the defense with the dribble and looks for his shot. Instead looks for Schuler, who misses the jam from the right side.
Oh, what a beautiful pass by Jossaran there.
Long rebound goes to Pedro Foster Jr., who played pro ball up in Canada. Now it's Cook with the handle. Cook step back long 2 on Bermudez. No good. Back iron. Long rebound goes this time to Edwards. And Edwards will slow it down for Desert Storm. Down to 40 seconds, first quarter. A chance for a double-digit lead now as Peterson pulls up. 3-pointer is not there, but a foul is. Waters, the defender, not happy with the call. He closed him out, but bumped into Peterson, knocking him down. So 3 free throws on the way for Jamal Peterson, the high scorer from yesterday, who had 23 points, off to a good start today with 5 off the bench. The former University of Arkansas Monticello product is at the line.
Well, that was quite a mismatch right there. 5'9" Jamal Peterson took the 3-pointer attempt, and Anton Waters, 6'7", 245 pounds, came out to defend it. And after the shot, knocked over Jamal Peterson.
And Waters still involved in an animated conversation with crew chief Chris Passy, who blew the whistle. Trying to find some common ground there. Peterson hits the final free throw to push the lead up to 10. It's 21-11, and we're down to the final half minute here in the first quarter. Foster, meanwhile, 3-pointer, no good. Ball is tipped, and there is the rebound for Edwards, who's going to slow it down now as he makes way for Peterson. 21-11. Looks like about a 2-second differential here between the shot clock and game clock. Shot clock is down to 10. Peterson in no hurry near midcourt. Now going to go at the defender, Anderson. Crossover dribble, goes to the left, head down, leans into the shot and got it from 10 feet. And that will do it for the first quarter. A great start for the Nevada Desert Storm, led by Dominic Schuler and Jamal Peterson. Their largest lead is intact at 23-11. And Coach McIntyre's guys right now, Nick, seem to be on a roll through 10 minutes.
The Nevada Desert Storm is playing really well, and they got an extra game last night, Nick. They played against the Mexican team that came here. Mexican national team was here, so they got to play 2 games yesterday, and I thought that might be a deterrent for them, but it absolutely looks like it helped them. They played together. They look very cohesive out there, and I believe what's going to happen here for the Scouting4U, they need to be stronger with the basketball. They had far too many turnovers. They were sloppy. They need to clean that up. Coach Ricky George is over there talking to the boys right now, and I'm sure he's going to say, hey, we need to get a shot attempt down every time. If you're not going to get a shot attempt down, you're not going to have a chance to defeat this fine team here, made up of the local players here. Most of them are all from Las Vegas, the Nevada Desert Storm. And boy, wouldn't that be a great little story we're writing if they could get into the finals, if they could win this game and get into the finals of the tournament here. I think that would be quite a story.
Well, you mentioned Coach Ricky George, and he's on the sidelines right now trying to pump up his guys. He seems like kind of a no-nonsense, all-business personality, and, well, I'm sure he's not pleased with the way that this game has begun. We'll check in with Kelsey Wright-Johnson on the sidelines in just a moment. I'm Nick Anastas along with Nick Mattis. It's the 10th annual Global Basketball Summer League here, day number 2 in Las Vegas, Session A. And Session B looms in just a few days, but we'll have the championship game tomorrow for the A-Leaguers, so to speak, and we know that will feature one of these 2 teams. And
the winner moves on into the championship game from here, and then there's going to be another game today at 4 o'clock. The other undefeated teams going to be the Finnish Select team, which had an outstanding game yesterday, defeating the Windsor Express, and they're going to play Point Street. The winner of that game will move to the finals at 4:15 approximately on Sunday afternoon tomorrow for the championship of Session A. And then you mentioned, Nick, Session B starts on Monday. We have 8 new teams coming in here. The tournament will be set up exactly the same. We'll have 4 games on Monday. Teams will advance into winner and losers bracket, and that will conclude on Wednesday. And I believe the final is scheduled for Wednesday at 4 o'clock also at Session B.
23-11 as we begin things here in the second quarter. We saw Butler, Demario Butler of Azusa University, kind of spearhead the effort to begin the game for his club, the Nevada Desert. He's back on the floor after a lengthy rest. And Peterson will put the ball in play as we are underway for quarter number 2. Largest lead either way up on the board as the guys in maroon lead by a dozen. They want more. Edwards baseline left, wants to go at Waters with the dribble. Goes to the right hand into the lane. Up fake, gets a second man in the air, but the jump shot won't go, and now whistle on the rebound as Mahaney came down with it. And is guilty, I believe, of a push. The ball's going to stay at this end.
Nick, I believe the start of the second quarter here is going to be really important for Scouting4U. They're down by 12 points right now. They need to cut into the deficit right now.
And they have their star scorer, Lavelle Cook, on the bench for the moment as well. He was involved in a one-on-one with Coach George a moment ago. Fadeaway there from Butler won't drop. Waters has the rebound, and now Smith will slow it up as the offense gets set up. Just 11 first quarter points. This is the club that put up 90 yesterday in their first round victory. White, or make that Smith, unable to score near the rim. Ball kept alive there by Edwards, but he had his right foot on the line.
Tough roll right there for Andrevius Smith. He went baseline, he got a little space, got the ball up high on the glass. Ball just not bouncing in right now for Scouting4U.
Meanwhile, Coach McIntyre up in the ear of the official Shell Zhang. I think he's got his kids over there on the sideline with him. Kind of a laid-back approach to this semifinal game. Inside, Mahidi. Smith, one-time far side for Kalalu. That one no good, but an offensive rebound again for Mahinty on the far baseline. He's got Butler on him in the post. Goes up, Smith is stripped. Taken away there by Kenny Morgan, who just checked back in. Now Morgan goes ruthlessly into the lane and turned it over. Outlet's going to go to Kalilu, and there's a right-hand slam with no challenge.
Nice outlet pass right there. Led him perfectly up the court.
Rare easy bucket for Scouting4U. They're back within 10, and they force a turnover. Butler couldn't handle it. Trying to run. Smith to Kalilu, and that is a goaltend, it looks like, yep. So back-to-back buckets in transition, and suddenly the deficit drops from 12 to a more manageable 8 points here with 8 minutes to go, second quarter.
Precisely what the Scouting4U needed. Cut the deficit right here in the beginning of the quarter. Get yourself back in the game.
Morgan up and under, won't work. Waters the rebound, the outlet taken by Kalilu. Lobs it across now for Mahinty. Mahinty, though, lost the basketball. Good pressure by Butler. It results in a steal. And now a three-point attempt by Peterson. That one short. Offensive rebound off the bounce. And across the lane, it sets up a layup for Butler. It took a whack on the side of the head, but got it to drop anyway. Double-digit lead reestablished, 25-15, 2.5 gone, second quarter. Kalilu wants the answer. Goes at the smaller defender, Peterson. Spins in the post. Got it to drop, but they're going to wave it off. It's a travel.
Definitely picked up his pivot foot there as he was trying to get into the paint. Slid his pivot foot. That's going to be called each and every time.
Meanwhile, Lavelle Cook returns just 3 points in that first quarter after dropping 28 at tournament high yesterday. See if Scouting4U can get him going when they get the basketball back, of course. Meanwhile, it's Peterson for Desert Storm. Crossover, pull up, baseline J is there. Boy, Peterson's got a smooth offensive game, doesn't he, Nick?
You're not kidding. He's real quick. Okay, he's only about 5'9", 5'10". So when you're that size against these type of players, you better be quick. Otherwise, you're not going to just be able to hold your own. So
well, there's Cook. Spins to his left and got it over Peterson. Just his second field goal. He's looking for an and one call there from the officials.
Right on cue.
27-17. Peterson shot sent back by Smith. The other Smith, Andravius now to the 10. Stripped on his way up. Waters the putback. Game starting to develop a little bit of pace here. Lead slash back down to 8 at 27-19. And with that, we have a timeout on the floor. 27-19. Desert Storm is still in the lead. And in just a moment, we're going to send it to Kelsey Wright-Johnson. In fact, let's do that right now.
Good job. Get your earplugs from
Scouting4U was down 23-11 and had let the Desert Storm score on 8 second chance opportunities. Coach Ricky said his players need to stop standing around. They need to, when the shot goes up, they need to find a body, they need to hit the body, and they need to box out. Since then, they've allowed one more second chance points. That's only one second chance opportunity, 2 points, and now they're down, I guess you see here, 27-19. Guys?
Thank you, Kelsey. Well, game number 2, and not a bad crowd here. As we talked about, mostly scouts, mostly personnel affiliated with the teams in the audience, but we talked about it, a few bystanders yesterday and a few more today.
I think the crowd hopefully is going to get bigger here as we go on in the tournament here, especially tomorrow. I'd like to see a bigger crowd, but you know, we're competing here with the NBA Summer League, starts here on Monday.
Might get some spillover fans. Meanwhile, Bermudez inside to Schuler, who just returned. A tough challenge fadeaway. No good from the near block, and Andravius Smith now has it. Right-hand dribble. Smith in attack mode goes right to the rim and gets it to drop off the glass.
Interesting how he got that over the Dominator, who just missed the block. 2-possession
game again. 4 minutes in, second quarter. Bermudez wants the answer. Bounce pass taken away on the baseline, but they say Chuck Smith, the man who stole the basketball, was out of bounds, so it will stay with Desert Storm, 14 to shoot.
Right now you can see that some of the teams are kind of dragging a little bit right now. We're midway through the second quarter.
Jossaran step back three, short, rebound to Waters. Now Smith a chance to maybe make it a one-possession difference if they can hit a three. Instead they'll settle for an up and under 2 and a tip back. Andravius Smith starting to come on. 6'5" slasher out of Tougaloo College, where he averaged a double-double of 23 and 10. He scored the last 4 for Scouting4U. Peterson wants a 3. It's challenged there by Smith, no good. And the rebound out of bounds, it will be rewarded to Scouting4U.
Scouting4U has cut the deficit to 4, just what they needed to do. That was the recipe for success for them, to get this lead that was a double-digit lead down at the end of the first period, to get it down to a manageable score. Now it's 27-23. They're down by 4. So they're just back in the game, just what they needed to do. They've been doing a better job of being strong with the basketball. They're cutting their turnovers down. Ricky George has done a good job here of getting his team positioned and organized. Again, these players don't have any opportunity to practice with each other very much. This is the 3rd time they've probably been together. It's like a group of all-stars, Nick.
Coach George doing a lot of coaching there during that mini timeout, seemingly setting up this play. A 3 for Waters, no. A tip for Mahinty, yes. Tosin Mahinty out of the University of Alabama, Birmingham, UAB. A difference maker so far in this first half off the bench. His club right back in it, down only 2. Butler needs an answer. Elbow J won't go, and there's Andrevius Smith with a skying 2-hand rebound. Scouting4U right to left, a chance to tie or take the lead. Smith all the way to the cup, blocked by Schuler, but a whistle on his way up, and a foul is called. Let's get Coach McIntyre upset. It's going to go against Bermudez.
I think they're calling the basket good on goaltending.
Oh, they are, you're right. Yep, they got the goaltend on Schuler and the foul on Bermudez. So a 3-point play opportunity for Andrevius Smith, who's really come alive in this second quarter. A chance to put his club up by 1 after they trailed seemingly just moments ago by as many as a dozen.
Well, look what Scouting4U coach Ricky George has done. He's put Mahinty, the 6'9", in there with Waters, 6'7". They've got the 6'7" Lavelle Cook, and he's got a lot of size in there. The only player on the court that's not that big is number 3 there, Chuck Smith, and he's 6 foot. He's got a real tall team on the court right now.
Bermudez, 3 off target, offensive rebound, Josserand. Peterson back to Josserand, near corner 3 is too strong, but Bermudez will bring it in for a 3rd try. Goes right at Waters, off balance. No, weep side tip, yes. It took 4 tries, but they'll take it. Field goal there to Butler. And that's going to put Desert Storm back in front for the moment. Meanwhile, quick whistle on the other end. And what do we have here? It's something on Schuler, it looks like.
Unbelievable.
Schuler not happy.
Unbelievable in that last offensive series there for the Scouting4U was not able to get a rebound with all these tall players on the court. The Nevada Desert Storm just kept working really hard on the offensive boards and got the basket. Going to need to do a much better job of rebounding when you got that linked on the court right there, Nick.
Andrevius Smith to the free throw line. He has shouldered the scoring burden so far in this first half for Coach McIntyre, but he's short on the front end here and upset with himself. Trying to tie the ball game with just over 4 minutes to go until halftime. Nick Anastas, Nick Mattis, Kelsey Wright Johnson with you from Las Vegas. 10th annual Global Basketball Summer League action, Day 2, the winners bracket semifinals in Session A. The championship will be played tomorrow, and then on Monday we start it all over again with Session B.
It's been a lot of fun here at the Global Basketball Summer League, and fun working with you, Nick Anastas, out of New Hampshire, and I'm from Northern California. We like to talk about each other as the East-West connection here.
Sure.
And Nick and Nick here was a lot of fun. Really enjoys working with you, Nick Anastas.
And we've been treated to a few good games as well. In fact, most of the games so far have come down to the wire. Smith, a 1-for-2 trip, ties the game at 29 as we head towards the 4-minute mark. Bermudez now will pull it out with the right hand. Sets up Peterson, passes on an open look, dribbles to the free throw line, and hits the 15-footer instead.
Curious decision right there. I thought Jamal would have taken that shot and got a little bit closer, but he made the 2-pointer. But the way he's been shooting.
Meanwhile, a faulty horn here. The shot clock, which should have been reset, went off. So we're going to have to get that situated here. A momentary whistle.
Right here in the game, it's Scouting4U's done a good job of cutting into the deficit they had at the end of the first period. They were trailing by double digits. It's just now a 2-point game right now. Done a really good job. Both these teams undefeated, Nick, which is important. Whoever wins moves to the final tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Josseran, another steal. 3-on-1. Butler missed the dunk. Peterson there. Back to Bermudez, and he's going to have to pull it out. Bermudez around Cook. Finds Butler right side. Denied at the rim. Mahinty with the block. Quick outlet to Cook. Cook to the rim. Counted and the foul. Hit on the right arm by Josseran. Didn't foul him hard enough, frankly, to stop Cook, who now has 7 points. A chance for one more. Game tied again, Nick, at 31 apiece.
Yeah, that was not a wise foul there by Mike Josseran. Just let Cook have the basket. He had the advantage in height. He was ahead of you. Let him have the basket. That notches the game at 31 right now, though, so we're dead even with 3:23 here left in the second quarter. And you got to give a lot of props to the Scouting4U team. They did not give up. They came out, battled here in the second period, and have notched this game and tied it in. And actually now they've taken the lead, 32-31.
3-point play for Cook. He's got 8. 1-point game again. Josseran, meanwhile, makes a beeline to the rim with the dribble and gets it with the right hand. Makes up for the foul on the defensive end a moment ago.
Defensive lapse there for Scouting4U.
Backdoor, Smith to the rim, no. The follow, Mahinty, yes. Two-hand slam, nobody marooned there on the weak side for the rebound.
Well, once the Dominator went for the block and didn't get it, that left Mahinty wide open. Slammed it with 2 hands right through.
Inside 3 minutes to go, first half. Butler tries his hand at a 3, no good, far wing, and there's Mahinty with a contested rebound. He's been good on the glass since coming in off the bench earlier for Coach George. Elbow J, Cook rattles in and out. Mahinty is there, dunk, in and out. Frustrated there as he couldn't get it to go. Instead, 3-on-3 the other way. Butler one dribble to the rim. Nope, too strong. Rebound goes to Anderson. Now the white team looking to push. Up ahead, Waters, easy layup. Game starting to develop a little bit of pace here, Nick.
Absolutely.
3-point lead for Scouting4U. That is their largest lead since the opening minutes.
You're exactly right, Nick. These teams are missing some shots they know they should put through. Both teams missing some easy shots. A dunk by Mahinty. Butler comes down on this end. Too hard off the glass. Teams need a little breather here. I think it was a perfect timeout here. 2:09 left in the second quarter. Scouting4U has battled back to take the lead in the game. And Desert Storm, the Nevada Desert Storm, we mentioned they played 2 games yesterday.
Yeah.
So no, the other team here, Scouting4U, did not play a second game. I wonder if it might not take a little out of them. These teams are not deep. There's only 8 players or 9 players on each team.
Yep. Well, here's, I suppose, the schedule from Coach McIntyre's position. He played one of the earlier games yesterday. In fact, it was noontime, so about 24 hours or so ago. They then had a few hours off until they played a 6 o'clock matchup against that pro team from Mexico. That was only 6-minute quarters, however, so it wasn't the full grind of a 40-minute basketball game. On the positive side, and I have to assume that this is why Coach McIntyre agreed to schedule a second game that day, is to get his guys more comfortable playing with each other, more familiar with each other after having only one official practice on Thursday.
Yeah, and I think it worked. They ended up defeating the Mexican team pretty easily during that game, and they started out the game today. They looked really well. You know, they looked good. They were playing well together in the first period. They had built a 10-point lead after period 1, but I'm looking at their faces right now and their body language, and I think they're showing a little bit of fatigue at this point. Now, halftime is 2 minutes away. If they can keep this game close right here, maybe that the halftime break of 5 minutes can rejuvenate their energy, that NBA energy that Todd Bonek had brought up in game 1 there.
Right.
And that can fuel them to get the energy they need to propel them to the finals. And the championship bracket here would be 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So looks like we're going to get back into action here shortly.
36-33 in favor of Scouting4U. 2 minutes remaining until halftime, and again, they've played from behind most of this first half, trailed by as many as 12 late in the first quarter, but turn that around pretty quickly under the guidance of Coach George. Bermudez finds Taylor, or make that Edwards,
Nice shot.
who knocks it down after one dribble.
Right at the elbow there, 15-footer, got a good look at it. Much needed basket.
1 point game again. Here's Chuck Smith, right hand dribble into the lane as Anderson, spot up long two is good from the far corner. First bucket off the bench for Martin Anderson, another pro out of Italy, showcasing his skills here in Las Vegas. Inside of 90 seconds, and there's Schuler. Two-hand power slam there. Nobody home on the weak side defensively.
Are you kidding me? The Dominator showed why we call him the Dominator. Two-hand hammer slam.
Nobody wanted to get in his way there. That was fun, Nick.
Yeah, it's his second dunk so far. Back and forth we go, 38-37. Cook to the rim, got it to go there. Two big steps down the far side of the lane. Cook, he's been quiet, and yet he's up at 10 points so far. You know, this one tipped out of bounds after the near miss, and it's going to be rewarded to Scouting4U. Coach George will make a quick substitution.
You know, it's
Ishmael Kalilu back on out of Brandeis, replacing the bigger Tosin Mahinti. So a smaller lineup on the floor here for the final 52 seconds of the first half.
You know what's apparent to me is you look at LaVelle Cook, and he's a fantastic athlete. You don't look at him at 6'7". He just doesn't seem that long, but he is.
Yep. Yep, being shadowed the entire first half by perhaps the best defender in maroon. That's Bermudez. Anderson for three, short, far corner, ball tipped in the paint, and now controlled by Edwards. 30 seconds to go, 3-point game. Chance to cut it to one. Instead, Desert Storm turns it over. Far corner, Chuck Smith, nice pass inside. Waters pivots, goes up, right hand, can't get it. Ball still loose, Bermudez the other way. Sets its sail up ahead, it's Marquis Anderson, and he's got it there with the right hand.
Smart play by Anderson, Nick. He went under the basket. He had a bigger, taller, longer defender on him.
Cook trying to beat the buzzer, can't. Left-hand finger roll, rolls off the front of the iron as the horn sounds. 1 point ball game at the break, 40-39 in favor of Ricky George's Scouting4U squad. They trailed by as many as 12 late in that first quarter. They rally back in the second and take with them the slimmest of leads into the locker room at the break, Nick.
Yeah, and the timeout that Coach McIntyre did over here for the Desert Storm did them a lot of good. They were trailing with about 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes left. That timeout, they did just what they needed to do. They came out, they got back into the game, and we're going into the second half, and we're just got a 1 point deficit. I just can't wait to see it. Winner of this game goes to the finals.
Yep. They await the winner.
Point streak versus
point streak, right, versus
finish select.
Finish select, the highest scoring team in yesterday's round one action. They had no trouble with their first round opponent, winning by easily the widest margin of the day, and they put up the highest point total, as we mentioned, of 95 points. So we'll be looking forward to seeing them later on this afternoon, but still a whole nother half of basketball to go in this one. A 1 point game between the Nevada Desert Storm and Scouting4U, and we expected it to be tight, and, well, these teams have played to expectations.
Yeah, you know, one thing I'm noticing so far in the tournament, Nick, this is our third game we've got to do together, and boy, I'll tell you, it's a privilege to work with you, Nick Anastas out of New Hampshire.
Likewise.
I'm just enjoying this so much, but the one thing I'm noticing is there's a lot of runs. You know, one team seems to have an advantage, and you think that they could get that separation and give them some breathing room. But these teams don't give up. We've seen this throughout the whole tournament. Anytime a team gets 7 or 8 minutes of 7 or 8 points spread, the other team is able to cut that deficit and keep these games competitive. We got our producer Walt's giving us some ideas here. What's Walt wanting us to do? Wanting us to take a break? All right, well, I guess we're going to take a break here, Nick.
We will. And when we come back, we'll be get ready for the start of the second half here. 1 point game in Las Vegas. The Desert Storm team will begin with the basketball inside for Schuler, and there's Schuler off the glass with the right hand. Just 3 of 8 now is Schuler. 6 points, 6 rebounds, however, as he works on a double-double. Meanwhile, Jesseran with the steal. Right side, Bermudez missed the layup. Rebound the other way for Smith, and he's tied up by Jesseran, who reached in to warrant the jump ball.
First 35 seconds here in the third period, Mike Joshuran has really showed his abilities here. Got a steal, beautiful assist. Young man is out here playing his heart out.
Yeah, he's got 4 steals now, quietly, in the ball game to go with 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. So a little bit of everything by Mike Josseran, formerly of Southern University. Here's Josseran's 3. It's no good. Off the back iron, the rebound goes to Lavelle Cook. Cook, a spin move, runs into the defender Bermudez, and there's steal number 5 for Josseran. Back to Bermudez, spot up 3, far wing, no good, back iron. Long rebound again for Cook, and this time he'll slow it down. Chuck Smith, one dribble, leaves for Waters, back for Cook, head down into the lane, stripped by Butler. It will stay, though, with Scouting for You. Let's talk a little bit, Nick, about Lavelle Cook. 28 points yesterday, was the tournament's high scorer. Seems like he's been bottled up a little bit, and yet he's right on pace again, or close to it. 12 points at the break to start this third quarter.
Isn't that funny? Guys that are just scorers like that, you see that in the NBA a lot. Guys that are scorers, they just quietly get their points. They're not really exciting points here. He's just whittled away, didn't get a very good first period. Second period he came on, started getting some free throws, started getting some baskets. Don't be surprised if he ends up with 25 points in the game. That's the type of player he is. 6'7", long range, great player. Got a good future, I believe.
Meanwhile, the turnaround hook is good for Waters. Now he's smiling ear to ear on the defensive end after that little baby right-hand hook was able to drop. A lead reestablished by Scouting for You. Nearly 2 minutes into this third quarter, it's 42-41. Josseran trying to change that. Finds Butler. Butler to the rim. No. Schuler tried the tip dunk. Couldn't get it. Wanted a foul. Won't get one there either.
Surprised there was no foul called on that. Schuler was.
Cook whips it inside to Waters. Fadeaway there. No, but foul on his way up. Big 250-pound power forward. Going to head back to the free throw line with his club leading by 1, 42-41.
You know, if you're a basketball fan, you've got to get down here to the Global Basketball Summer League. It is so fun to watch these athletes. These guys can really play basketball. Each and every one has a great format here to showcase their skills. It's just so fun to watch, Nick. I can tell you right now, some of these guys are going to be in the NBA. It won't be long either, because they can just do things that other athletes can't do. And you just watch them leave the court. They jump so quickly off the court. And the way they're shooting their three-pointers, all their shots are perfectly straight on. Nice releases. You've got to get down here. We got 2 more games today. We got 6 tomorrow, and then we got another tournament starting on Monday.
Waters trying to become the 3rd player in double figures for Scouting for You. Misses the free throw, stays with it, had it sent back by Butler. The other way comes Desert Storm, 3-on-3. Bermudez finds the trailer. And now Murphy going to slow it down. Back to Bermudez up top. No. Ball tipped underneath. And there's the finish.
And there's Joshua underneath the basket. The smallest guy in the court gets the rebound, finds the open player Butler there, takes it in off the court. Mike Joshua is playing really well right now. He is the energy of the Desert Storm. Desert Storm needs right now. He's just giving them all that. We saw the same thing in game 1 there. Jermaine Queen came off the bench for the French Pro-Am team. Did a nice job energizing them. There's a place on the court for these little small point guards. And
what's his percentage?
Josh Rand is showing his value to the team right now.
There you get a look at Chuck Smith. He's given plenty of room on the far side wing. They're going to reverse it near side. But into Cook. Double team comes over. Josseran another steal. Lobs it up the near sideline. And Morgan is going to slow it down. Almost ran into his own teammate Schuler. Bounce pass here goes out of bounds.
Good thing I had to secure
Danny, but she's tough as nails and it's fine.
Danny didn't even face Danny Jackson.
Didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
Former point guard in her
How
own
many
right.
times I got hit with a basketball?
All right, here is Bermudez. He's had double duty, really. He's drawn the tough assignment defensively of guarding Cook one-on-one.
You're good.
And now he's going to try to attack here on offense. Runs into a double team and nearly loses the basketball. Shot clock violation as you hear the horn sound. Good defense there by Scouting for You as they look to retake the lead, trailing by 1, 44-43, 3 minutes into this third quarter.
Yeah, Bermudez is a great player. He's the one that hit the game-winning shot for Desert Storm yesterday in Game 1 versus the Greek Connection.
Are you
with
good?
3 seconds
Are you doing
left, he
anything?
had a 15 to win the game there.
Am I on your way? Let me know, because I'm trying to get this guy right here, okay?
Shot clock down to 10. Galilu back for Chuck Smith. Trying to lob it inside, but nowhere to go. 5 now to shoot. Step back 3 on the way. That one's short. Weak side rebound controlled by Butler. Long outlet, Jesseran. Storm looking to push. Jesseran to the elbow. Stop and start. Goes underneath. Has the trailer. Bermudez. 3 on the way. No. Side iron. Near side rebound again. It's going to come to
Is it recording? It's recording.
Back and forth we go. Seems like a lid on the basket. Certainly there for Cook. Back up. Stripped there by Mahinty. Yep, it's Jesseran with his quick hands. Able to get in there to poke it away. Meanwhile, jump shot is up and off target by Morgan. Long outlet now the other way, taken by Waters. Bounce pass for Cook, and he's undercut, but no foul. Ball out of bounds. Cook knocked off his feet. We'll stay at this end. 4 minutes off this third clock. And both offenses have gone cold? Is that fair to say over the last 2 minutes or so?
Because it's not on live. I was just trying to get him.
Isn't there? It sure seems that way, Nick. Right now the shots are right
Oh,
up there.
okay. Well, I can put it on the live
For
broadcast.
whatever
Like,
reason,
if I
that
take
lids
this
on the
camera,
basket for both
then I'll
teams.
take the video from
The shots are just not falling. They're good.
Okay, but we just won't edit it into the actual game.
Yeah, because I can't really. It's not going to be on our. It's not going to be on the SD card unless I switch to
a nice hot dog there.
Getting a snack in while he can.
Yeah, Adam does a great job with the PA now.
So what do we need to do?
Right next to him.
that other camera, the one that they have. That way you can record him the entire time, and then you can just take it out, and the only thing that'll be on that card is him.
Okay, so don't use
Great format for them.
Unless you just want a shot for maybe like 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Okay, well I'll wait until they finish. I think they're done.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think they're doing something like top 10 coaches or something, so they're getting like 10 coaches.
It's been a lot of fun so far.
But yeah, as soon as they're done, then maybe you can do that.
That's fine.
We've got 4 great days left. I'm so excited about it.
I don't want to mess it
I hope
up.
that the fans at home that are watching these games and enjoying these
Go ahead.
as much as we are today. And if you're around here, please, if you're in Las Vegas, get down here. Take in a couple of these games. These are really great athletes here. I've never seen athletes like this in this format before. Obviously, we've gone to the NBA games before, and you get to see NBA players. But when you're here and you see these guys, they're so hungry. They're so hungry.
Yeah.
They're giving everything they've got. 100% effort on defense.
Yep, well, they're in the job market right now. Most of these guys looking for gigs at the professional level. Meanwhile, as play resumes, Cook, he will draw the body contact. Shot came up a little bit short, but after being hit on the left shoulder, he'll head to the free throw line for 2. 1 point lead for Scouting for You. They trailed earlier in the first half by as many as 12. Free throw is good there for Cook, his first point of the second half. Brings his game total up to 13. He was terrific yesterday, scoring a tournament high 28 points and did it on better than 50% shooting. He's been locked up today by Bermudez, but still has managed a way to score a respectable 14 points so far with plenty of time to go as we approach the midway point of the third quarter.
Well, that's interesting how you said he's been somewhat bottled up. 14 points. He's on pace to get 20, 25 points coming out. He's just such a strong player. You watch him out here. And I mentioned earlier, he does not look 6'7". You look at him the way he moves. He's so agile. And a lot of these athletes are. I mean, these are just really special athletes out here. And Cook's going to be playing at the higher level. There's no doubt in my mind.
The guy who did not play major college basketball comes from the Las Vegas area. Here's Cook, no. Tip, yes. Travius Smith, who has had a good game, gets his first basket of the second half off the right fingertips. 3-point lead now. Jesseran around the corner, got the layup. Scored it with the right hand with 2 guys breathing down his neck. Jesseran has 5 or 6 steals defensively, gets a bucket there on offense.
I'm really liking his game right now. He's really starting to step up and show people that he's a very good, he's a fine player. Here
is Travius Smith, 2 and thunder dunk. Again, the weak outside defense not there to see the cut. And the athletic 6'5" wingman stuffed it with two hands.
And Dravia's had a really good first half. Starting to get into the flow here in the second half for the Scouting for You.
3-point game again. One-on-one move. Up and under. Counted. And the foul. That is a pretty move there by Kenny Morgan, formerly of Hope International. Got the quick first step and scored it despite the foul from Martin Anderson, who picks up his first. 2 team fouls each way in this third quarter as we just passed the midway point. Now 49-48, a chance to tie here for Morgan. Free throw is short. Morgan follows his own miss, goes back up, and gets 2 instead.
Mistake there by the Scouting for You. Nobody blocked out the shooter. Came in, got his rebound, put it back in. Now there's 4 unanswered. Means a 1-point lead for Desert Storm. Scouting for You wants an answer. Up top, long jump shot. Foster Jr. is short. Rebound to Butler. Desert Storm wants to run 2-on-2. Bermudez, 15-footer. In traffic is up and in. Well, you can see right now, Nick, the pace and space is starting to benefit the Desert Storm, and I think a lot of it has to do with their point guard, Mike Josh Randall, really taking over the game here, controlling the game.
6 points now. 6 unanswered points for Desert Storm. They lead by 3. Shot clock, meanwhile, is down to 5. Cook gonna launch a tray. That one is short, and the rebound wrestled away by Morgan. He'll explode right to left, leading the break. Has Butler right side. A little short there on the right-hand tomahawk dump attempt. Rebound the other way. Now Cook in traffic. Cook gonna pull up off the big 2-step. No. Tipped away, and Schuler now controls. Back and forth we go. Schuler goes around Cook to the rim. Layup is there.
Coast to coast for the Dominator right there. Got the rebound. Looked for somebody to pass to. There was nobody. Nobody stopped him. Went all the way in. Laid it off the glass.
Meanwhile, an 8-0 run has flipped the script. 56-49 is what the scoreboard reads. Cook trying to end the drought. Can't. Ball tipped out. Bermudez with Schuler, a 2-on-1. Bermudez to the tin. Gonna slam it home with the right hand. Coach George frustrated, gonna call for time. A big-time run here from the Nevada Desert Storm, trying to reach the finals in Session A. We're inside of 3 minutes, third quarter. Suddenly that lead has crept right back up, Nick, to 9 points at 58-49.
There's these runs we were talking about. We've been talking about each team seems to put a little run on, Nick. Once they get that run, the question is now, can they expand on it? They've got the 9-point lead right now. 2 minutes, 56 seconds left in the third quarter. The question is, and it was a great timeout by Coach Ricky George here. This was the perfect time. You need to get your team regrouped. Desert Storm's got this run going. Call the timeout, get over there, get your guys readjusted, get them thinking about playing a little better defense, because right now, this is going to be critical. 2 minutes, 56 seconds left, going into the fourth quarter. We're 10 minutes, maybe 13 minutes away from getting to the championship round, but you're going to have to pick up your game. If you don't, you're not going to make it there. You'll be in the semifinals.
Meanwhile, it looks like it's all fun and games on the Nevada sideline there as Coach McIntyre is exchanging smiles with his guys, keeping it loose.
As they should be. They had a nice spurt right here.
They're playing well right now,
and
right?
Remember, we talked about this. Right at the end of the second quarter, they were looking a little tired. They looked a little bit down. Coach called the timeout. They came out at the end of the second quarter. They did a nice job of closing the margin. The halftime gave them rejuvenation, 5 minutes, and here they are leading now by 9. 3 minutes left here in the third quarter.
5 straight trips without a field goal for Scouting for You. They look to break the ice, so to speak, here. Trying to make it a 2-possession game again. It's Cook up top. Spin move to his left, in the lane. Floater is good with the right hand.
I like how they came out of the timeout, went to their best player. Right there, just as you mentioned earlier. Ricky George dialed up the play for their leading scorer.
Yep. Total up to 16 now. Step back, Bermudez. Flat offensive rebound, Schuler skying out of nowhere to restart the shot clock. Now it's Edwards trying to back down the defender. Up top, Bermudez, and a travel is called. Drag that initial foot. Bermudez trying to communicate with crew chief Chris Passy about what he did wrong there. Ball is back to Scouting for You, and a chance here to cut the 7-point margin as we approach 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Cook lobs it inside of the big waters, guarded by Schuler. Good matchup here. Goes up, right hand, short, tip no, tip yes. Sticking with it is Waters, good effort there. He's the third scorer now in double figures for the team in white. They're right back in it, down only 5, 58-53.
Yeah. Dominic Schuler can jump. The weight advantage is too great there for Waters in Houston.
Schuler, fade away, banker. Bank is open on Saturdays.
You better call that bank if you're going to be. That's a good one. That bank is open.
He's approaching double figures now with 8. Lead is 7, 60-53. 95 seconds to go, third quarter. And the offense going to restart here as the shot clock approaches 10 for Scouting4U. Back inside of Waters, why not? He's got Schuler on his back on the far block. Spins to his left, block by Schuler, who patiently waited there. Got his right hand on it, now he's got the basketball. Nearly stolen away from behind by Andrevius Smith, but Smith sticks with it and does have the depth. Smith to the tin, two-hand slam. 60-55, Smith has been a big difference maker for the home team in white.
Andrevius has definitely come alive here late in the third quarter here. What a ball game. This is just fun to watch. Nobody's giving up here.
Down to 1 minute. Peterson got the step, and he gets the bucket off the window. Peterson played well in that first half as he led the way. In fact, 15. I didn't even realize that through 2 quarters. That's his first off the bench in this third, however. Schuler, another block. Bermudez up ahead. Peterson to the rim. Block from Chuck Smith. It'll keep it at this end with 38 seconds to go. Schuler lost track, to be honest, of how many block shots the Las Vegas native has come up with so far.
Well, the Dominator is definitely making his presence felt here on the offensive and defensive ends. He's doing a fine job of controlling in the paint. He doesn't have the weight and strength that Andre Waters does, but his timing is so good, and he elevates off the court so quickly.
Cook with the shot clock at 10, game clock at 20 seconds, gets rid of it far side for Chuck Smith. He calls for the screen with 5 to shoot on the far wing. He's back now, middle with the right hand, splits the defenders and gets the goaltend. Blocked there on its way down by Travoy Edwards. 5-point game again at 62-57. 10 seconds now remaining for the Nevada Desert Storm to get off a final shot. Peterson met at midcourt by the defender Chuck Smith. Gets a screen from Schuler, down to 3 seconds, gonna have to hurry to the free throw line, and he runs out of time. Good defense there by the Scouting4U squad, yet they trail by 5 at the end of 3 quarters. A 9-0 run, the difference there in the third by the Nevada Desert Storm, as they lead 62-57 as we head to the fourth quarter.
Both these teams are 10 minutes away from getting to the championship game, so we got 62-57. I thought the timeout that Coach Ricky George called for Scouting4U was very important. The team came back on the court. They got the ball to their leading scorer, Lavelle Cook. He's done a couple of really good baskets for them that they needed to get him back in the game, and this is important. We talk about the beginning of the quarter. Scouting4U needs to come out at the beginning of this fourth quarter, trailing by 5, and they need to cut into this deficit right away. On the other side, Nevada Desert Storm come out and they can get 3 or 4 quick baskets. They could get themselves some breathing room and get some separation here and cruise on into the championship game tomorrow at 4 p.m. here on Sunday afternoon in the Global Basketball Summer League.
They get a shot at Coach George. He'll be coaching in Asia at the upcoming season and perhaps bringing a couple guys from this showcase with him. He had his squad, or he saw his squad fall down by as many as 12 back in the first quarter. They had a brief lead in the third quarter, but they're going to need to really elevate their game if they want to come back here over the final 10 minutes down by 5, 62-57.
Yeah, and we got to give a lot of props to Mike Joshurin. I think he was the difference in the game. At the start of the third quarter he was playing really well. He got 3 or 4 steals.
He has 6 steals in the ball.
Yeah, he got 3 or 4 of them right there at the beginning of the third quarter. He's dishing off, finding the open man. He's the energy that the team needed to fuel off off of. And he did a great job now. They got Peterson back in the game, and we know Peterson can score the basketball for the Desert Storm. It should be a great 10 minutes here. I'm interested to see how the Scouting for You starts here at the beginning of this third quarter.
Basketball goes to Scouts for You. Smiling Cook makes way for Chuck Smith. He's picked up here full court by the defender Peterson. Around Peterson, up top to Cook, 10 to shoot. Swung near corner, Smith open, three, won't go. Tipped far side and then stripped underneath by Edwards. Pretty defensive play. Coach George wanted a double dribble, however. Desert Storm up 5, they clear, press, and then turn it over.
Not too bad there. Edwards had hustled down the court. He had good position underneath the basket. He just lost the handle of it right underneath the basket there. He might have had an opportunity to go up for an easy bank-in shot there.
Again, full court pressure as Peterson tries to dig in against Chuck Smith. Smith of Howard University. And Peterson of Arkansas, Monticello. 10 to shoot. Waters near side. They lob it inside off the glass. That pass went astray. Right to Schuler.
Looking for Mahenti. They didn't communicate well on it.
Bermudez underneath, and then Edwards is blocked by Waters. Smith now leads the break the other way and draws a foul. Hit on the way up by Morgan. He's going to shoot 2. A scoreless first minute here of the fourth quarter. A chance for Scouting for You to make this a one-possession game if Smith can hit 2.
The pace here in the game right here they got to get it under control here. We played 3 quarters. Right now the pace doesn't seem to be real comfortable for both teams. Playing a little too fast, a little out of control. Sometimes a free throw here can calm everybody down. Everybody gets an opportunity to take a little breath, reorganize and get themselves together.
Chuck Smith, 2 for 2 trip, one possession game, 62-59. As Peterson comes his way right to left into the front court. Spread offense here for the Desert squad. Lead to Bermudez, shot clock at 10, closed out by Cook. Left-hand dribble up top between the legs. Crossover, has Peterson far corner, pulls the trigger on a 3, and he's got it. 20 points for Peterson at 23 yesterday, another 3-pointer. I believe he's leading the tournament. 3-pointers made. That one a big one to put his squad back up 6. Meanwhile, up and under. Can't get it there. It's Mahenti. Second try. No there either. Edwards snatches the rebound the other way. Peterson head down into the lane, left his footing, and turned it over. Waters comes up with a steal near side. Waters at midcourt. Makes way for Smith. Now Cook wide open 3. Near side corner. He got it.
There you go. LaBelle Cook just what the doctor ordered.
65-62. Peterson quickly the other way is fouled. Leaned into the defender midair to draw the foul on Chuck Smith.
Beautiful shot by LaBelle Cook down there. Just what the Scouting for You team needed. That gets Cook up. I believe he's near 20 points at this point in the game. And just interesting to watch the dominator, Dominic Schuler, work under the basket there. He's going against Mahenti, who's 3 or 4 inches taller than him, but he elevates off the court so quickly, Schuler does. He affects the other team. They know that he can get off the court, so they're a little bit hesitant to shoot the basket.
Substitutions here. Morgan, Bermudez, and Schuler all take a seat. Josserand returns along with Marquise Anderson, who played limited minutes in that first half. While Mario Butler is back on the floor as well. Free throw no good. Still a 3-point ball game, 65-62. Scouting for You hoping to tie with a 3. Waters will throw it up. No, off the back iron. Whistle as the ball comes down, and a foul is going to be called. Well, against who there? I think it's against the offense. Yep. It's on Tilson Mahenti, so the ball goes back to the Desert Storm squad. They lead by 3, 65-62.
Well, it's going to be a real task for the Desert Storm team to rebound right now. They have a really small unit on the court right now with Josh Aran, Peterson on the court there. Peterson with a long 3.
No good there on a line drive effort from the far wing. Rebound goes to Foster Jr. Pushes ahead to Smith. Smith underneath Waters, and there's the finish.
I'm not sure how long Coach Ty McIntyre is going to be able to go with this unit. Their size difference is really big for right now for Scouting for You. They have so much size difference here.
And a 5-0 run the other way as well. Three-pointer around the horn, no good. In and out for Edwards, rebound to Cook. Chance for the lead here for Scouting4U. They lob it up ahead. Mahaney stripped by Josseran. Ball loose on the baseline. Bodies on the floor. And Desert Storm going to come away with it. Edwards makes way for Peterson. Back to Edwards. Edwards to the rim. Layup is there. That's good transition basketball right there, Nick.
And all made by Mike Josseran, who was really working hard on defense. Stripped the big man. Recovered after he got the fumble of the ball, he got the recovered, he got up court there, and Butler finished it finally. Butler's had a couple of tough times where he hasn't finished shots. That time he did.
Yep. Substitutions again. Ishmaelio Dalilu is back on, former star at Brandeis University. Going to replace the 6'9 Mahinti. So a smaller lineup on the floor for Coach George.
Interesting.
10 to shoot. Smith leaves it for Cook, left side. Has a smaller Josseran on him, trying to back him down. Spins left, draws a double team, leaves it up top. 3 to shoot. Leaner for Foster. No. Tip Waters. No. Waters comes down with it again and scores off the glass. Boy, he's working hard inside, Nick. We got a 1-point game again.
He did a nice job of being patient, waited till the smaller guys got to the floor, and then he elevated. So
67-66, nearly 4 minutes gone, fourth quarter. Now it's Josseran's turn on the offense. Foot on the line, step back long 2, no. Waters tracks it down for the rebound. Chance for the lead now for Scouting4U. Into the front court, Chuck Smith goes right at Peterson, elevates and draws the foul. Took it on the wrist, good move by Smith. And he's got a chance to put his team in front at the free throw line.
Jamal Peterson did what he needed to do. He tried to reach in and strip it down low before the ball got up high. He just got a little bit of his arm. And we're going to take a timeout here, it looks, Nick.
67-66. A 1-point lead for the Nevada Desert Storm here in the Session A semifinals. The winner goes to the championship, which will be played tomorrow. Nick Anastas, along with Nick Manis, Kelsey Wright Johnson as well, and Kelsey is ready with a report. Go.
Scouting4U coach Ricky is telling his guys to get physical on the offensive and defensive ends of the floors. He's saying to use their size and bump some bodies and get more, a little more physical just out there. He's kept his focus on rebounding all game, but is stressing that it needs to be almost perfect for the rest of this game to get that lead back. They're down by 1 right now. Guys, I'm going to send it back to you.
Thank you, Kelsey. Again, we're nearing the midway point of this fourth quarter. And, well, anything you see here, Nick, adjustment-wise, that either of these coaches can implement down the stretch?
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I thought there was a mismatch there for Scouting4U over Desert Storm. Desert Storm had a smaller team on there, but it was interesting because Ricky George of the Scouting4U, he didn't like that matchup, and he brought some smaller players into the court to match up with them. And I think that was important. That showed a lot that he didn't like the speed and quickness that the Desert Storm was showing, which I thought was an advantage for Scouting4U at that point. But
a little bit of a chess match.
Absolutely. I loved it. I loved it.
Two of the better basketball minds in Las Vegas this weekend.
Yeah, Ty McTire and Ricky George.
All right. Play resumes with a couple of free throws for Chuck Smith. And he's got the first. 6-footer, formerly of Howard University. And he's played well this afternoon. Ties the game at 67 and now puts his club in front. 68-67. Another lead change. We've seen 14 of those so far in this one. It's been a dandy.
We're getting our money's worth. 5 minutes left here, a little over 5. We're a 1-point game.
Josseran down the lane, leaves it for Schuler near block. Schuler just returned. Now Josseran in the corner, step back 3 is too strong. Weak side rebound is tipped and controlled by Waters for the defense. 1-point lead now and the basketball for Scouting4U. Their best player is wide open, but Cook can't find the touch from the near corner. Long rebound poked out to Bermudez, and now Desert Storm will slow it down the other way. Bermudez finds Butler on the far side baseline, backs him down, now back out Bermudez, long 3 is up and good. Well, he was the hero yesterday, Nick, hit the game winner in a similar type of shot there, a step back. He's got his club up by 2.
You mentioned earlier, he does everything for the Desert Storm. He guards their other team's best player. He's very good offensively. really good all-round player. He's got great size.
Meanwhile, Smith to the rim, parts it, blocked by Schuler. Guess who? Meanwhile, Jossaran leads the 3-on-1. As Bermudez with one a moment ago, dribbles to the far elbow and knocks down another. Bermudez feeling it. 2-possession lead again, 72-68.
I like to say big players step up in big times, and this is a big time in the game. Bermudez is showing why he's a big player.
Yeah, he hasn't looked for a shot too often today. He's been concentrating on defense, and he forces a miss here against Cook. Waters, though, is a bull on the offensive board, but then he's stripped. Bermudez comes out of the fray with the ball, leaves it left side for Schuler, who's going to score it with the right hand. 74-68, another run brewing here, and Coach George smells it, calls for time. It comes with 4 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. 74-68 in favor of the Nevada Desert Storm.
Excellent timeout by Ricky George. Just as you mentioned, we've been seeing this. This is how the tides of these games turn. These runs, they get on them. Right now there's a 6-point lead, and this is a perfect timeout for the Scouting4U. 4:14 left in the game. Let's get back into it, get regrouped. I just enjoy watching how these players, they give 100% in this all the way till the end of the game. It's a 40-minute NBA official game, and nobody gives up, and there's nobody thinking they've got the game won until the last second of the clock is ticked out. And just wonderful here to watch this. Come on down to the Doolittle Community Center here. You're going to get your money's worth. What is it, $10 to get in here? You're going to get your money's worth if you get one game, and you can get more than one game if you get down there. So you got 2 more games coming after this today, Nick.
Yep. Here's Coach McIntyre sending his guys back onto the floor, trying to punch their ticket to the Session A championship game, which will be played tomorrow night here at the Doolittle Convention Center. 74-68. Cook trim the margins, got one-on-one with Bermudez near side of the floor. Mahiney is back in. Mahinty to the rim, gets it with the right hand. He doesn't look to score too often, but he gets one there.
Yeah, notice how he kind of flipped it real high up over the Dominator.
Quick one for Bermudez. He's feeling it now. Little fadeaway from 15 feet. He claps his hands at midcourt. 76-70. Pick and roll now. Cook the other side. Left his feet, nearly blocked by Bermudez. Stolen by Butler, up ahead to Bermudez, and there's a right-hand layup. 8-point lead, largest of the second half for the Desert Storm. 3.5 to go. Clock becoming a factor here in the fourth quarter.
Victor Bermudez coming alive here. Big players stepping up at the right time. Desert Storm less than 3 minutes away from going to the finals here.
Smith off target. The other Smith able to get there and draw a foul. Hit on the wrist and knocked down under the rim by Butler, who picks up the foul.
Butler, real intense player. I like watching him out there. He's a really intense player. Gets the most out of his size, too. He's not a really tall player, but works real hard. Didn't want to give up an easy basket. Fought hard, came back on defense.
He's got, not to cut you off, but he's got the look of a veteran, doesn't he? He's big, he's strong, he's
look a little.
He's not underdeveloped by any means.
No, he looks.
He's got that pro look for sure.
Yeah, he's got a good look.
All right. Meanwhile, 78-71 is the first free throw is going to fall for Andrevius Smith. Can he go 2 for 2? And he can't. Off the back iron, a long rebound of Peterson. Desert Storm the other way, leading by 7. Gonna work a little clock here as we move towards 3 minutes. Bermudez, a power move, gets it off the glass and 1. Pretty drive there on the near side baseline. Bermudez has come alive over the last few minutes to lead the way. 9-point lead now at 80-71, and a chance for one more.
Well, here's the chance to distinguish yourself. So here in this format, this is all about showing scouts that you can play ball, and I think Victor Bermudez has shown it. In game 1, he hit the game winner with 3 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. This game was real tight. He's come on and shown why he's a player that needs to be taken notice of.
Can't hit the free throw, however. The other way now, in traffic goes Smith. Wild shot off the window. Loose ball, the result. Bodies on the floor near wing. Second try, Mahiney got it, and 1. Threw it down over the 5'10" Peterson. And a big-time three-point play. Good effort there by both teams, but the loose ball leads to a basket and a three-point play opportunity for Tosin Mahinty, formerly of UAB, University of Alabama Birmingham.
Yeah, they needed that so much. Scouting4U here was having a tough time getting any points right here. That was a huge basket. Needs to make the free throw here. These free throws are so important going down the stretch.
And this one's short. Offensive rebound, though, for Waters, and there's the putback in the lane. Boy, Waters has had a solid game on the glass and with scoring.
You cannot let that happen if you're Desert Storm. You've got to block out there. You cannot allow them to get 4 points on that possession.
80-75, 2.5 to go. Shot clock at 10. Butler wide open, three-pointer is short, and the rebound goes to Scouting4U. They're down only 5.
I think that was an ill-advised shot there. That's not Butler's shot right there, I'll tell you that.
I agree. Inside, Mahinty travels on the near block. Shuffled the feet just enough.
Big turnover there, Nick. That's huge. You need to get a shot attempt up. 2 minutes left in the game. You're down by 5. You cannot turn it over there.
Instead, we remain at 80-75. Bermudez on the near wing, just lost the dribble. Taken away by the defender, Cook.
Well, we know he's human now, okay? Victor Bermudez was something. The guy was playing like a man possessed.
We're inside of 2 minutes now. Waters goes over Butler, who tried to draw the charge, follows it up, and scores off the glass. Waters accusing Butler of being a flopper there. Instead, 3-point game. Waters the last couple of buckets for Scouting4U. 80-77. Now Peterson to the rim.
Will that be continuation? The basket didn't go.
Nope. The question is if it had, would it have been a continuation? I don't know, but it doesn't matter, right? 2 shots coming for Peterson, who has again played well. 20 points today, 23 yesterday. Trying to propel his squad into the championship round. They lead by 3, 80-77. Coach George is not happy. Free throw for Peterson won't drop around the rim and out.
These are critical points right now. They're calling them free throws. You're on the line there. You've got to make these points here. 3-point lead, minute 48 left. Desert Storm has not protected the ball very well since they've had this lead here late in the game. I've been a little disappointed in some of their shot attempts and some of the ball handling they had. So let's see what happens. Just they've opened the door for Scouting4U here.
1 for 2 trip at the line means a 2-possession game. 81-77, and we're inside of 100 seconds remaining. 10 of those on the shot clock. Smith into the lane, avoids Schuler, up top Waters, 5 to shoot, goes at Schuler, and Waters is called for a travel.
Oh, excellent defense by the Dominator right there. For one of the few times he reached down low, Andre Waters thought he might try to block it up top, but the Dominator switched up on him, reached down low, and picked his pocket.
1:25 to go. 4-point lead and the basketball for the Nevada Desert Storm. Peterson guarded by Chuck Smith here on the near wing. Calls for the pick and roll. Goes middle. Has the defender on his hip and hits a beautiful teardrop in the lane. Boy, that is a smooth move there by the former Arkansas Monticello guard. And now the other way. Foul is called as Andrevius Smith goes right to the tin and now heads to the free throw line. His club trails, though, 88-77 with 1:07 to go in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, well said. A beautiful teardrop by the smallest guy on the court, goes in there amongst the sequoias, floats a little teardrop over, and it just floats perfectly in a huge basket. That might be the game winner right there.
Unofficially 22 points. Again, he had 23 in the first round win yesterday. Coming off the bench for Coach McIntyre in both games as well. Meanwhile, Andrevius Smith hits the first, and the back end of the 2-shot free throw as well. 83-77. And we are coming up on 1 minute remaining in this fourth quarter. Can Desert Storm hang on, or will Scouting4U make a comeback? Bermudez wants a screen, comes down the lane. He's got a man open. Passing on the shot, though, in the near corner is Morgan. Leaves it back out for Bermudez, and he's fouled on the reach-in with just 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. An unnecessary reach-in there off the edge by Mahinty. That'll restart the shot clock to 14 seconds.
You're right, Nick. That was a really poor foul right there. Not the time you wanted. The clock was running down.
Yep, 50 seconds on the game clock. 10 to shoot now as it comes into Peterson. He goes down the lane, fires a wild one over the top of the backboard, and therefore out of play. Good defensive stop there for Scouting4U. They get the ball back. And now they need a field goal, down by 4. 83-79, 43 seconds to go. They get it into their top scorer. That is Lavelle Cook. He's one-on-one. He wants a screen from Waters. He's going to pull up for 3 and come up short. Rebound off the bounce goes to Peterson. 3-on-1 the other way. Peterson is going to come baseline. Will he shoot? Yes, he will, and he'll score off the glass. 6 points is the margin, 85-79. A 1 second differential between the shot clock and game clock. We're down to 20 seconds. To the rim, Chuck Smith can't get the layup. Rolls off the side iron. Rebound to Schuler, and he's fouled from behind by Waters. Clock stop with under 16 seconds to go. 85-79, a chance to make this a 3-possession game coming up at the free throw line.
Yeah, Peterson has done a fine job here of working the clock. He had an opportunity there. He slowed the game down when he came down last possession. Once he didn't get fouled, he penetrated into the paint. Nobody picked him up. He laid it in. That's going to do it here, I believe. The Dominator to the free throw line with a 6-point lead, 15 seconds left. Moving on into the championship round will be the Nevada Desert Storm tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Their opponent will be determined a little later in the tournament here when the point streak is going to go against the Finnish select team. That will be the other undefeated team, and looking forward to that game. That's going to be a great final. All those teams are all very competitive.
Schuler missed the first and the second. The door is open ajar. Rebound to Andrevius Smith, has to hurry, down to 10 seconds. He dribbles out of bounds on the far sideline. Lost it with the right hand. Big stop there for the Desert Storm. There's 12 seconds. Coach George going to call off the Dogs, and that is going to do it. The Nevada Desert Storm, made up of locals, heading to the championship game tomorrow afternoon here in Las Vegas. The final score, 85-79. Scouting4U has been eliminated. Coach McIntyre celebrating with his guys who led most of the way today. They pull away in the fourth quarter and get the job done. 85-79 the final. Dick, your final thoughts?
Well, I thought the coach, Ty McIntyre, did a nice job right there at the end of the second quarter. His team had looked like they were getting a little bit tired. What happened was he called the timeout. They were able to cut into the lead by the end of the half. When we went into halftime, it was almost dead even, a 1-point deficit. They were able to get a lot of life from their point guard, Mike Joshuran, to start the third quarter. Joshuran's energy was the key that fueled the Nevada Desert Storm. At that point, he brought in Jamal Peterson off the bench. That seemed to be the formula that McIntyre likes to do. Brings in Jamal Peterson, who's instant offense for them. Hits some three-pointers. The Dominator, Dominic Schuler, does what he does. He controls the paint. And then Victor Bermudez, right there in the fourth quarter. Big players play big at the right time. And sure enough, Victor Bermudez, who hit the game-winning shot in game 1, steps up in the fourth quarter, shows why he's a really special all-around player, does a great job of getting points, plays tough defense on Lavelle Cook, and there you go. There's your formula for success. A really good team effort by the Nevada Desert Storm, and I loved it, Nick. A bunch of local guys that they put together here have gotten into the finals. This is a storybook finish here for the Nevada Las Vegas Storm here. I can't wait to see them in the finals. It's going to be great tomorrow. So
sure is. And again, we're only halfway through today's action. Still another couple of games to go, and then tomorrow again we wrap things up on the A side, just the A session with the championship game, and then we begin session B on Monday.
Don't slip.
All right, we are waiting to make sure that the audio is okay with Kelsey Wright Johnson, who is standing by with our player of the game, Jamal Peterson.
Has pulled out the W, so that's 2 in a row now for you. Heading into the next game, what are we going to expect to see from you guys? I mean, is it more pressure now? You haven't lost?
I wouldn't say it's pressure. We just got a big bullseye on our backs because we haven't lost yet. We just got to come out and do the same thing we've been doing since the first game, and if we do that, we'll be fine.
And now you put the bucket in, 25 seconds left to go, sealed the fate for your team today. What's going through your mind as the clock's running down? And I mean, at that point, they could have come back. You sealed the fate with another 2 points.
at that time, I'm just trying to run the clock out. It's only 25 seconds. Keep the ball away from them. We're up. So, I mean, if they foul, we get 2 free throws. But other than that, just keep the ball away from them and run the clock out.
At halftime, your coach was stressing. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
At halftime, your coach was stressing the importance of defense. You saying that you guys were hugging a little bit on the weak side. No one was in help. Did the adjustment help in that second half?
Yeah, because they were trying to run a lot of pick and roll after the guard would come off the screen. There wouldn't be no backside help, so they'd dump it to the big and he'd get an easy layup. After we made the adjustment, there wasn't no more easy layups, and they were settling for jump shots.
There you go, and that was that.
Yeah.
Congratulations again. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Kelsey. Again, the final 85-79. The Nevada Desert Storm will play for a championship tomorrow afternoon.
Donald Trump?
For Walt Tiger Lanier, our producer behind the scenes, our sideline correspondent Kelsey Wright Johnson, and my man, Nick Mattis. My name is Nick Anastas saying so long. This has been a presentation of the 2017 Global Basketball Summer League.